How y'all doing? I hope when this message finds you, it finds you in the best of spirits. I hope that it blesses you. I hope that it touches you. I hope that you're able to gain some type of wisdom and knowledge from what I'm about to talk about. And I'm not going to be on here for very long. But what I do want to say is, so I came across YouTube, right? Let me turn my TV down. Y'all know I'm ghetto. I don't my videos ain't no profession about none of this. Um, I'm just me. And to be me, that means imperfection on all levels, right? Okay, so I'm sitting here watching this interview with Ike Taylor, and he's like an OG for the Gangster Disciples. Well, I don't have nothing to do with gangs. I've never been involved in any other organizations or um, no organizations, no gangs. I've never joined any different organizations when it comes to um, religion. I'm not a religious person. I do believe that I am a Israelite. However, some Israelites go by a certain organization, which is part of a religion, and I don't consider myself to be that. I consider myself to be a follower of Christ, which means that I'm not branding myself with anything. Um, I walk as a human being. That doesn't mean that because I don't wear tassels or I don't always cover my hair or I don't uh, join certain forces, that does not make me um, no different from a real or someone that considers themselves to be a Israelite. I'm just a follower of Christ, and wherever I'm just a sheep, and the Most High is my shepherd. And wherever He tells me to go, that's where I'm gonna go. Whenever He tells me to move, I'm gonna move. Okay, that's the difference. I don't put blame. I don't proclaim to be something that I'm not. Give me 1 second, cause my lips looking real dry right now. Okay. And even though I might come on here and seem a little ghetto or whatever, but let me hold on. Give me 1 second. Like I said, because I don't know how to edit my videos, I'm sorry, I don't edit nothing. Okay, so what you give is what you get. That's who I am. I'm sorry I can't go back and edify anything to make things look perfect, but in a way, I'm a flawed person. And my life is what it is. I'm not gonna try to be something that I'm not. And I want y'all to see my flaws. I want you to understand that people that is gonna be saved, people that is going to heaven, are not gonna be these perfect people. We're not gonna be these saints of, oh, I'm so great. I don't sin. I don't do this. I don't do that. Yeah, we're people like regular people. We screw up, and we sin every day, and we're gonna sin every day until God comes back to rescue us. Okay, there's no way that nobody's living a perfect life. So the people that is um, out here persecuting us, and it's like, oh yeah, well, this person is not supposed to be doing this. Oh, this person don't supposed to be drinking. This person don't supposed to be doing this, or this person. Excuse me, boo boo. God is judging us from our hearts. He's judging us from um, he's judging us because, for one, He has chosen to save us because of our hearts. That doesn't make us a perfect person. We will never be perfect. Nobody on this earth will ever be perfect. But the people that's persecuting us, it's like, oh, well, why they doing this? And, they hold us up to a certain standard that is incapable, that they could, we're human. It's gonna be some gangsters that go to make it to heaven. Believe it or not, it's gonna be people that's on the street selling dope every day that make it to heaven. It's gonna be some witches. It's gonna be some warlocks that make it to heaven. It's gonna be some people that we would never think will make it to heaven that makes it to heaven. So y'all people, stop with trying to label us or make us, fit into a category because you feel like, oh, well, why God didn't choose me? I don't do this and I don't do that. No, God is choosing us because of the gift that he has already ordained in us. If you're a chosen vessel, you have already been chosen before you were born. He already knew you before you came here. You came here with a certain purpose and a certain lesson and a certain message to put out to the world. Okay, and that was to be a fisherman, to grasp other fish. We're supposed to, yes, carry ourselves to a certain standard. Yes, he does make us hold ourselves to a certain standard, but that doesn't make us perfect. So stop with the, oh, well, this person's supposed to be chosen. They're not supposed to do this. And they're like, no. We was born into sin, okay? When we die, we're going to be sinning. Ain't nobody going to have no perfect day. Ain't no such thing as, oh, this person can come here and live this perfect life. The only perfect person that was perfect was Jesus. And sometimes we sin unknowingly and sometimes we sin knowing what we're doing, and that's why we're supposed to repent for that, and to try to never do it again. But we fall 70 times, and we just ask him for forgiveness and try to move forward, but we're fighting against forces every day that we wake up. That is, they don't want us to live the life that God has ordained us to live. So we fight battles every day, consciously. We're tempted, because the enemy knows what we like, and he would do everything in his power to make us. He would do his abracadabra, or have one of his witches and his warlocks to do some kind of abracadabra spell, and that's why we got to stay prayed up and armored up so that we don't fall into these entrapments. And entrapments are levels. You have entrapments of falling into your favorite sin that the enemy knows that you like. You have entrapments of trying to set you up to get you locked up, and if you fall for it, then you go on to jail. That's why we have to be. We have to. When he says to walk, he wants us to be wise as a serpent but harmless as a dove. We can't be out here tricking ourselves off the streets. We can't be out here falling for Satan's devices. We can't be falling for his entrapments because that's what he wants. But that's not what my spirit led me to. Okay, so I had a baby father, that is, God rest his soul. It's been over 10 years now that he has passed away, but he was a gangster disciple. And I just so happened to be on YouTube, and I was watching Ike Taylor, which is a OG for the Gangster Disciples, and just listening to his story, because I want to know, like, what why did um why did black people fall for gangs? Um, I've never been again. Oh, I'm still looking at that little piece right there. It got to come out. But why did we ever fall for being in gangs? I always chose to walk by myself because I've always been a leader, and I don't feel the need to follow nobody. I've never tried to fit in with a crowd. If everybody doing something else, then try to do this because they doing that. Like, that ain't me. I'm gonna do me, period. And if you choose to do what I do, then that's cool. You know what I mean? But I don't feel the need to try to fit in with the crowd. I never have. And back to the story because I'm being stared off. But yeah, my baby daddy was a gangster disciple. I have a 25-year-old, I have a 19-year-old, and I have a I'm sorry, she just turned 14 on October the 1st. And I have a 14-year-old daughter. Yes, I have 3 different baby daddies. Let me explain it. The first baby daddy was my first love. He was a little gangster, back in my school years. In the 90s, I thought it was cool, and he had caught on robbery. So he went to prison, and I just so happened to find out that I was pregnant 4 weeks after he was sentenced to 10 years for armed robbery. Don't want to go too much into this story or whatever, but yeah, his name was Bird. He was well known on the street, and not in a good way. It was, at that time, I thought it was cute to have me a little thug or whatever, and that's not what it is. But back in my days, I thought it was cool to have me a gangster. I felt like it was cool to for what you say, nigga, I have my nigga pull up, like, and let's just say that I wasn't no saint back then either, because at 15 I had my driver license. As a matter of fact, I got my driver license for while I was in middle school, after I beat this girl up at school. And my mom was like, principal called my mom because the girl got a black eye and everything. He called my mom. He like, pick your daughter up. She's finna be suspended or whatever. And God rest my mom's soul. But my mom called me. She on the phone. She like, who you done fucked up? She was like, I'm on my way to pick you up. You want a 40? So I was like, yeah. So my mom came to pick me up. The next day, that day that she picked me up from school, she took me to go get my driver license book so that I can get my driver's permit. And that's how I ended up getting my driver license, because I was suspended for fighting. Like in middle school, like, girl, I was a beast. I did not care. I used to be ready to go. It was like, it wasn't that, like, and my mom would be on call like, who? She was with it. But anyway, yeah, so back to the gangsters disciples, because I'll keep being getting stared away or whatever. But I was watching this YouTube thing with Ike Taylor, and just the gangster disciple OG. And from what I'm understanding, gangster disciples never started as like this gangster type thing. This was an organization back in the 60s and 70s that actually stood for something. Like, they stood for, and I'm thinking like more so like the Black Panthers. These people stood for something. They took care of their community. They protected their community. They fed each other. They stood for something positive and not something negative. But anytime, the government's job is to divide and conquer. So anytime that, they see us coming together, they got to get in that midst, because their biggest fear is us all coming together and figuring out the plan from the beginning, and understanding that we were placed against each other from the beginning. So us coming together, and that's power. That's too much power for 1%, versus, like, man, come on, man. We talking about elite versus God's power. And I'm thinking, I can't help but feel like God, GD stood probably for God disciples. And they think that God, the disciples today, are gangster, but we're not here for that. We're here to lead you and guide you to Christ, point you to Christ. Are we perfect people? No, we're not. Nor will I ever portray to be. I'm not here to say, I hear a lot of Hebrews and Israelites, like, oh, well, they don't wear tassels, or she don't wear this on her head, or that. That's why I don't brand myself with nothing. I'm not perfect. I'm just me. I follow Christ. I'm not gonna sit here and put nobody's brand on me, because God is the brand on me. Okay. But I just feel like back then, gangs did really stand for something. But because the government have found a way, they seen that we was coming together, that scared them. So they took the gangs, gangster disciples, and it was another name before that too, and probably God disciples. But when they figure all that out, and they seen all these black people coming together, scared them. So they started to offer money to these gangs. If you shut up about talking about this, we'll give you X amount of money. And I'm quite sure that these organizations still go on today and still being paid. And a lot of these organizations actually go hand in hand with this gang stalking, and all these things that God's chosen people is targeted with. They use some of these gangs or whatever, because I do think that we were bringing everything together back in the days. Like, you had in the 50s and the 60s and 70s, you had black people that actually owned stores and came together on communities and actually stood for something. And then again, like I said, I always try to keep the Black Panthers in there too. But because we stood for something, that was a problem, So they felt like, okay, if we can bring some money into this thing, then, some people made money their God. And, when most of these people that come from these hoods that's in these gangs come from poverty. So if you bringing up money, okay, if you're talking about money, well, tell me what, when, we're just talking to a young man, and you approach him on some money tip, to go off somebody for dollars, and he poor, yeah, he finna do that. He finna straight up do that. You know what I'm saying? And he finna call his boys up like, Bim, yeah, we ready for that mighty dollar. These demons make their dollar their God. And the enemy knows that, and I said, my battery is finna run low. It's finna cut off now. But I definitely wanted to get this out here, because I always, every day, every way, I'm always trying to find a way to educate myself. I'm very observant. Whenever I'm around people, or I watch people, I watch their moves, and I watch me, and I learn from these things and how to interact, and of course, I'm always going to try to interact with people from a place of love. It's never going to come from a place of hate, unless you really, really take me there, and that's the place that nobody wants to see. And yeah, these gang stalkers, will try to push you to that point where they want to see that place, but um that's not something that I'm willing to give. I'm just I just try to stay humble. I'm not perfect, but yeah, nobody wants to see that part of me, and I don't want to put that out there, that type of energy. And I have endured a lot. And my Heavenly Father says to keep on enduring. And the reason why, like, I mean, even if I do bring that part of me out, I'm outnumbered. We're outnumbered. It's more them than us. But all in the same token, I also understand that God tells us that He that lives within us is more than the people that I don't have the words right, and I never do, can't get right. But He that lives in us is more than he that is in the world. So that lion is something else. And when God sees and we pray to Him, He gonna have these people back up off of us anyway. We're already protected, But anyway, I'm not here to promote any violence or to get off on the wrong task. I'm just here to put out that us as black people have been misled and lied to and lied on all our lives. And when will we find a place and a time to get together, to come together and stop hurting each other and stop killing each other and stop putting each other down? uh, just because you got a house and a car and you got a husband and you got a wife and you got a this and you got more money than me, that doesn't make you better than me. Because I can be poor on the street and have nothing but be rich in spirit. And see, if God is for me, then I'm already rich. Because He created the universe, so everything that you have belongs to Him anyway. But we're not going there. I'm just saying that a lot of these young people don't understand that these gangs actually back in the day started from a good place. And then it wasn't about gangsters. It was not about maybe gangster, but not gangster in a demonic way. It was gangster in God's way. And the way that God protects His people and His own is very gangster. But and most people don't respect that, and that's okay with me. I'm not here to live for anybody else. My life is dedicated to Christ. So I don't live I don't live my life for a man. I don't feel the need to prove anything to man. My life is I'm a living sacrifice for Him. I'm a living sacrifice for the Most High. And that's all I'm trying to live my expectation. That's the only person that I'm trying to prove something to. Anybody else who don't accept it, don't like it, I'm shaking my boots off and I'm moving on. But yeah, these young men don't understand that these gangs actually started from a good place of community protection. These were very empowered people that was killed off and that was locked up and paid to be shut up. And the government chose to take these gangs that actually stood for something, stood for Christ, stood for empowerment, stood for brotherhood, sisterhood. They turned these gangs into demonic forces of gang blood spilling societies, organizations. So I'm saying that, and I'm gonna get off of here. I wasn't even expecting to get on the camera, but lately I am challenging myself to get on here, even when I don't feel like getting on here, even when, bruh, as y'all can see, I'm in my, I got my cap on, and, and even though every time I feel like I get on here, Satan steals the words that I need to say to make me sound so educated. And I might not have the best vocabulary, but I'm quite sure that my people that follows me and listens to me understand where I'm coming from. So it don't even matter. But I'm here in my cap, my morning cap, and I love y'all. I hope this reaches the young, the old, and the babies. Even I'm listening out here earlier to the little young girls that's out here, little babies no more than like 6 or 7, 8 years old, calling each other BITCHs, and other little girls walking down the street, and it's like all of this negativity have trickled down to the babies, and it's sad, but this is the life that these are the hands, these are the cards that we have been dealt. We got to do better out here. We got to teach each other. We got to love each other. We got to correct each other, even when you don't feel like it. We got to do our work, bro. We got to get out here on hand and foot and love each other, but correct each other in love. With that, I'm going to let this session go. I love y'all. Happy Sunday and happy Monday and every other day. I pray that you all are blessed and touched and loved